Welcome to The Word Is Your Stage. My name is Barton, and today I want to talk to you about being in scoring position. Now you may ask, what is scoring position? Well, in terms of baseball, being in scoring position means that you're putting yourself in a position in which you can score on a base hit. Now, as a baseball player, scoring position was very important for me because it meant that I was putting myself in a position where I could help my team win ball games. Because in baseball, like any other sport, the name of the game is to score more points than the other team. And in order for me to maximize the potential of scoring points, I would have to put myself in a position that makes that job less difficult. So I strove into putting myself in a position that I could always score. And that was very important for me. But then I began to look at that in terms of my own life. And I was like, how could I put myself in scoring position in my life? Now you may ask, what is being in scoring position in your life? Well, for me, simply, it means that I was putting myself in position to succeed. So it meant that I had to actually have a self-analysis of my life and determine what were the things that were hindering me from success. And I had to come to some conclusions. Some were personality traits, some were work ethics, and some was actually straight skill set that I was deficient in. And in doing that, I made sure that I paid attention to those things and worked on them in order for me to put myself in a successful position. So if you want to continue to put yourself in scoring position, you may have to ask yourself some questions. You may have to ask whether or not you are equipped for what is to come next in your life or what you are expecting in your life. Because a lot of times we expect success, but we are not in position to receive success. So in order to do so, we have to now put ourselves in the right place in which we could succeed. So let's ask ourselves, are we in scoring position in our lives? And if so, great. But if not, let's figure out some ways in which we can do that. Now that we've asked ourselves that very important question, am I in scoring position? It is now time to figure out why we are not in the position to succeed in our lives. What is it that is hindering us from moving forward in our lives and getting the results that we want? Because personally, I know that I haven't always put myself in position to succeed. There was times where I struck out, times where I didn't even get on base. But even when I was on base, I failed to put myself in a position in which I can score runs in my personal life. So when we have that examination of our lives, we have to ask ourselves some important questions. We have to really be real with ourselves, and we have to figure out, what is it about me that is keeping me from getting to where I want to be in my life? And like always, I would say that the first place to look is self. Is that personality trait that we may possess that may be hindering us? Am I easy to get along with? Do people like me? Do people like my personality? Am I easy to communicate with? And if some of these questions are no, then it may require for us to change some of these things. We may need to learn how to listen more. We may need to learn how to be a little more approachable. Because sometimes when people have a bad perception of us, when people feel like they can't get along with us, or when they can't approach us, it may block us out from a lot of opportunities in which we can succeed in our lives. So having a self-analysis of our own personalities, of our own attitudes, is very key in putting ourselves in a position to succeed. Because when people like you, when people enjoy being around you, it's easy for them to put you in other arenas that will get you in front of other people who are influential. But next, if you're struggling in the business world, you may have to ask yourself, what is it that is keeping me from taking my game to the next level? What is it that's keeping me from allowing my profession to not move forward? And so it may require some things. It may mean that we have to build our networking skills. We may have to get out of some of these comfort zones that keep us from meeting new people. Sometimes we may have to ask for what we want. But even the simplest things, if we know that we lack in certain areas, we may have to take that time to build up those areas. If it's knowledge, then we may have to get as much information as we can and build our knowledge base. Sometimes it may require us to read books, newspapers, ask questions, attend meetings. But it also may require for us just to have that drive to want to learn more. I always tell people that it's good to learn trades. It's good to learn how to do things with your hands. It's good to learn a new language. It's good to go travel and expose yourself to the world so that you can get a better perspective of the world. Why? Because when you do these type of things, a whole nother universe is revealed to you. And when things are revealed to you, you gain a different perspective. When you gain a different perspective, you now are putting yourself in a position in which you could succeed because now you're comfortable in those different arenas that you're in. So when you make that self-analysis of what's holding you back, try to determine the things that you need to do that would allow for you to move forward. Determine those people who you need to meet. Determine those arenas that you need to be in. Because the only way you can put yourself in a position to succeed is by ultimately putting yourself in that position to succeed. And like I say every week, the world is your stage. And you control the outcome. So put yourself on that stage so that you can give your best performance. God bless you.